Alrighty, so welcome back to another day's work with Brown and Son.
Now this is the second video of a series of videos to show you how we developed a chicken caravan business.
In today's, we're sort of shifting out to the farm. We've done a lot of the maintenance and repairs, and we're moving all of the tools and equipment out to the farm in preparation for the chicken caravan arriving and whatnot. So, on with the show. Here we are again. We're just draining the water tank over here, because it's a pretty nice one and the chickens will probably like it. Need a good water storage.
So we decided to...
We've got the lovely Murray helping us out.
Yeah, Murray is actually a volunteer.
Moving this out to the...
He's learning how to start a business. He's been learning how to start it for a fair while, but he's a lovely fellow and he expects anything when he comes and works for us. So this is a fiberglass tank belonging to me, or my wife, on one of our granny flats we built.
Drain the rest of the water out. It's not heavy when you move it.
So here we have the what will become the egg sorting room, and it's a pretty good shot of all our junk, which is crammed between the two houses, or the two granny flats, which are attached to the two houses that the kids and I built.
Yeah, we've got this tiny little patch of land in between everything, and boys, it had many different uses. These are, I don't know what these are sort of platforms.
They're sort of flooring grate. We're going to use them for the entrance, actually, to the shed that we're setting up at the farm, so people can sign in and wash their feet. The whole business of the farm is under this new biosecurity rule, which is fairly encompassing.
This is my new tool, $125. It is a air-driven pop river gun, wonderful thing. You don't have to go, you just can pull the trigger and boom, take two.
Smaller rivet.
We're just repairing the panel frames.
This is the old chicken coop.
Yeah, it is.
We had 3 chickens in here for
we had
a year or so.
A bit of a step up. We're going to go from 3 to 300, and then from 300 to 1,000.
Wonderful. I had one before, but it made a much more satisfying bang when it went in. This just goes woof.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the first day Murray showed up for. Whoa. Was this the first day he showed up for?
I think so. Pretty dangerous shifting some of this machinery.
Okay, grab it.
Murray is a little bit inexperienced. Murray also went along and escorted my daughter, Nick's sister, when she walked the Australian Alps walking track. we've decided to hire an expensive car and trailer to shift our stuff. I was going to use the ute, but it hasn't got electric brakes. We probably would have got away with it.
En route out to the farm here, all loaded up. Fences, cool room panels. And here's the tank. Maybe we'll put another strap over it. We drove past 2 cops as we...
Yeah, 2 transport mobs, so we're very pleased.
Good that we did the right thing.
Yeah.
All unloaded.
We're now on the farm.
You beauty. Fencing section's unloaded. Gonna build the control welcome area. Check in all that shortly. Alrighty, we're about to use the tractor to load stuff onto the trailer.
So we're going to use the tractor with the carryall on the back. We're going to put everything on the carryall is the plan, and tie it onto the carryall and then load them onto the trailer. When we picked all this old machinery up from this old fella, this 82-year-old bloke called Marshall Phillips, we loaded it all by hand from the ground. And he was an amazing old fella, quite a little bit eccentric probably, but he was right underneath. You know, he only weighed about 50 kilos, and it was about, he wouldn't have been 5 foot tall.
And the chisel plough weighs a good couple 100 kilos or something.
Yeah.
Has a look at here, good angle. And little Marshall with his little 50 kilos was right underneath it trying to have a go. Sort of, watch out Marshall, you get squashed.
Yeah, get out of the way, Marshall.
Here he comes. Probably have to move the trailer forward a bit. Yeah, Murray's a lovely fellow. My sister did the Australian Alps walking trail, which is 650 kilometres sort of through the bush.
Through the mountains.
And she did it in sections, and some of the sections are, the trail just disappears on you, you know, sort of navigation type stuff. And all of her, I don't know, a lot of her mates were sort of, oh yeah, I'll help out, yeah, I'll come along and keep you company. And in the end, it was just Murray.
Murray and her family, like Nick and my wife, Chris, my son, Madeline, my other daughter. But she was doing it to raise awareness and support for refugees in detention. But it was a pretty tough track. It was 36,000 metres of climbing and ascending. It was just all mountains. Yeah, I got my brakes in action here.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed the tie held on the cement mixer there when you put it down.
All of this is a little bit dodgy because you can easily get a hand between the machinery when you're trying, especially with no brakes. And also this tractor's got what's called a dead PDO, power takeoff. And the power takeoff operates the 3-point linkage lift. And it also simultaneously operates the gears. So you put it in first and put the power takeoff on, let the clutch out, the tractor will start moving forward and the 3-point linkage will start going up simultaneously. It's a bit tricky, especially with no brakes.
I remember you were telling me about on your, what was it, a new tractor you got that had separate...
Yeah, it was an old tractor. It's called the AWD-7. It's one of the first international tractors ever built. Nearly as old as this tractor. And we were pulling a harvester header called the GL200. So I got hooked on the trailer
yeah,
here.
Giving the trailer a bit of a pull.
Yeah, GL200. Our famous GL200 for having 200 grease points. Anyway, they also had about 25 sprung clutches.
How about them apples?
Various different drives. Because the dead PDO what you needed to be going along to harvest. You also needed the harvest to be operating the harvester. So
There's a tree.
if you put your foot off the clutch to get going forward too quickly, that all of the clutches on the harvester opened up. The hell of it did. It scared the hell out of me. But anyway, after a while I got quite like it. The other alternative, of course, more modern tractors have a separate clutch for the PDO, so you can go forward without, and you can engage the PDO separately.
Trying to get this good stuff on camera.
We're going to put the chisel plough on now, which came with all of the machines we got from Marshall.
Look at that, nice and loaded. Yeah, it had about 5 or 6 different implements, this tractor with it. It all went onto the back of the ute. The tractor went onto the trailer. And we got it 6-hour drive, sort of Newcastle area. See, it's only on by a couple of...
This is a little bit tricky this time because this is a difficult bit of arrangement to handle, the chisel plough. Again, it's a 3-point linkage implement. Hook it on the back of the tractor and off you go ploughing. We haven't actually got the wheel weights on yet on the front. We did put them on later on. This is all a little bit air race. I don't know why we got the drum of fuel on the...
Yep, put the brakes on.
Yeah. No brakes.
It's sort of got some brakes.
Yeah, a bit. A little bit. You can do a lot with those tightener straps. Winching stuff off.
Yeah, the orange ratchet strap you might have seen. So much better than rope, having to tie a knot and have the knot come stuck. What happened there?
I just took off down the hill. Didn't need to put my brake on.
The poplars look so nice and healthy there.
Yeah. Yeah, we planted a row of poplars, but they got rust, so...
Another exciting load.
Now we're putting the carryall on, I think. Yeah.
No, the
Oh, the
plough.
single furrow plough. Single furrow plough is really old fashioned. No, this is the grader this time. The grader plough. We got a grader with it, a chisel plough, a single furrow plough, a carryall, slasher, ripper. It's good deal actually. And we got the quad, 4-wheel drive motorbike.
I mean, he was selling the farm, so needed everything gone.
$4,000 for a lot.
He didn't have a mobile phone, Marshall.
No.
He just had the landline, and so he also had a landline down the coast, and so he just had to keep trying both landlines in the hope of getting onto him.
He got up at 5 a.m. every morning.
He reckons he got sort of 30 requests the day after or something.
Yeah.
After.
Well, for a start, the tractor is a relic, 401 out of a production of 65,000. And a lot of the machinery are relics as well, especially the moldboard plough. So we've just about got a trailer load there, Nick.
I feel like the moldboard plough, we've moved that around the most out of everything.
This is it, I think. The moldboard
Sort of
plough.
just big enough to drag it yourself, and whenever we're rearranging in our tiny patch of space, it seems to be always the moldboard plough that's, oh, well, maybe we'll move that over there. Or...
So this is what they used to tow, this particular plough. They would have towed that with a team of horses. So you can use them for laying polypipe. They're very handy. It just digs a single furrow, but it'll dig it about over a foot deep.
Just loading the carryall on here. Last thing. And then the whole tractor with the slasher can come out to the farm. Just got to tie everything on and away we go.
We put it on the side, didn't we, the motor?
Just on the back.
The moldboard.
Carry all.
Oh, we put the carryall on there.
Yep. All strapped down, all loaded up. Implements, mixer, chisel plough. Away we go. Looks like a peanut butter sandwich there. Trucking along.
So here we go. Got nothing on the ute.
Just tighten the straps up a bit on the load. We've done a few. Have a bit of a drive, check them, you know. We've done a few trips like this over the years. Some crazy load on the back.
So we've arrived at the farm now. It's a 20-acre farm. It's got all this wonderful bush along one side. But unloading them is going to be a hell of a lot easier than loading them.
The bobcat is just so useful.
Yeah, we needed to move a fence from one side to a new fence area, and we pulled all of the steel posts out with the bobcat. We did all sorts of things with the bobcat. The fence you can see in the background there, we actually pulled that up and went off for about 1 kilometre, moved it across. There's our beautiful cool room. We had a lot of inquiries from goats on our way down from Taree.
The previous business owner.
We were a bit lucky getting that. I accidentally rang up 9 minutes after he advertised it. And he said he had about 50 calls in the next hour. He said to me, "Too cheap, James." I put it on too cheap.
Your loss is our gain, matey.
Yeah. It was quite a big trip coming down from Taree, I can tell you. We picked up 4 plastic 200-gallon, 100-gallon water tanks on the way. So we had the cool room on the ute, had the tanks on the trailer, too high.
You can see a photo of that at the end of the first little video I've ever uploaded. That was the contacts onto the battery for the charging the inverter.
Yeah.
Little 2-minute video. There's a photo at the end of us all loaded up, you know, at the petrol station.
That's right.
Gee, going up that hill with the cool room on the back was raining. And
yeah, our farm ute, or our Ford, that'll become the delivery wagon, is a gas-only car.
you can see it in this. Oh no, is that the high? No, that's the higher
Hiker.
ute. Yeah, the other ute with the tank on it.
There's the moldboard plough again. We haven't actually used it yet, but you can dig a trench with it for laying polypipe, or dig a trench for making a drain.
Loading off is always a lot easier than loading on.
Especially if you've got a bobcat. The hardest load on was up where we picked it all up, Philip from Marshall. We had to load all this stuff onto the back of the ute, just with manpower. Well, we used a winch, didn't we, at one stage? A bit of a winch.
Yeah, we sort of had the ratchets. So the ratchet straps you saw tying everything down. We'd sort of ratchet it to the other side. And
yeah, that helped a bit. But it was a bit of 3 manpower. Well, it's sort of 2.5.
2.5 manpower.
Yeah.
Chain, you said?
Yeah, chain mate on the passenger side.
We'd be thinking about how we were going to lift it. Marshall would be there. Rightio, let's go. End up dropping it on him. We hope to, on the farm, after the last frost, is to plant some marigolds. Marigolds are South African flower that turns the yolks of the eggs really bright orange. So we're thinking of putting a little crop of marigolds in. That's where we'll use the chisel plough to do that.
We can lift it up.
Turn it around, give him the back.
Yeah, right.
They made other things similar. It was called a bridle draft cedar that had all that arrangement on, with each tine connected by rods of steel and bolts and springs to the tine on the front, because you wouldn't have both tines going over a stump at the same time, so the front one would go over a stump and it'd pull the back one deeper, you know what I mean. You used to pull them with horses, that's why they're called bridle draft. You used to have a seat on the back, a big team of horses pulling them. This is our cement mixer. Now, we bought this cement mixer from a brickie. We bought it about, I don't know, Nick, 20 years ago.
Shit.
And it's still going. You imagine buying it off a brickie, it'd be pretty dodgy. But we replaced most of the drive gears.
It's got a nice new little petrol engine on it now. Dad spent a day figuring out getting the distance and positioning and the right cog, and yeah, so now you don't need to run an extension lead to it. Just start up the little petrol engine. And
We found that our generator, 4 kVA generator, we've got a portable, we've got 2 of them, wouldn't run this thing, wouldn't run the engine, the electric engine, because it hasn't got a capacitor. Capacitors help the engine to start. And we tried several different generators, none of them would drive it, so we ditched the motor and bought a petrol engine, which amazingly now from China, I paid $150 for a 5 horsepower petrol engine, brand new, amazing.
we were on cement mixer number 3, but trying to put these fence posts in.
Yeah, we had a bit of a line-up. First of all, ours broke down on account of the motor, and then the farmer lent us his, and that broke down because the drive cog was just about stuffed. So then we went out to my big mate Gordon and borrowed his, which was fine. But it was just a bit tricky to load because it was a very heavy one.
Implements all unloaded. Look at that one. Alrighty, loading the tractor on. Just got to put the carryall on first.
Now we're hooking up to the slasher. The slasher has had a hell of a lot of work done on it, more than any of the machines. And yet Marshall demonstrated it to me, drove it around, mowed a bit of grass. It's just held together with little bits of funny bolts, bits of plate bolted on. It's a mess.
Marshall puts a bit of solder on the stuff. No.
See, all those chains at the back turned out that the drive, the cutting blade, was a little bit too long. And most of those chains were missing, and I welded them all back on again. But it didn't take very long for the cutter to cut them all off again.
Which would have been good for the blade.
Yeah, haven't even looked at the blade. Still cuts the grass.
Having a bit of trouble getting this third linkage on.
And we're on finally.
Murray's knocked off by now. It's probably about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Made a bit of a trail.
So we're heading to a safer place, driving down the hill in low gear so it doesn't get off out of control.
Saves backing the big trailer all down
the driveway.
Here we go, loading the tractor. How are we looking? Yeah, I think that should do it.
Here we go.
The slasher weighs nearly as much as the tractor.
Yeah.
It's got, what, 6mm plate on it or something?
Yeah.
The repairs.
It's lifting the back of the ute off the ground.
You see it lifting the wheels off the ground a bit.
Got to block the front
Oh,
wheels
would you
so
look
it
at that?
doesn't take off. The mighty Fergies, they're called. Look at that, we're on.
All strapped down.
Trucking along here. Tractor on the back.
They're quite sort of nice looking tractors, aren't they?
Here we are, down the road again.
It's sort of iconic. There goes the Fergie. Into the sunset.
This is the end of the day, trying to get it all finished in time to take the tractor back. The car and the ute and the trailer.
Unloading away.
Don't want to have to hire the trailer and the car longer than you need.
Check if he's lined up all right.
We're always hustling to return the hire thing.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
You videoed the picking up of the tractor, didn't
What do you
you?
mean?
Marshals?
I don't think so. Yeah, that would have been good with the wheel destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, this trailer we were using blew one of those tyres while we were bringing the tractor down.
Coming down the mountain, tractor on the back of a two-wheeled trailer, four-wheeled trailer.
Three-wheel trailer.
Driving into its new home. Off into the sunset.
You got a bit of a look at our farm there?
Doing a little bit of slashing, maybe.
That's it.
Ah, well.
Off the dentist.
See you all next time.